What's good? It's your boy Czar, All Rights Reserved. I'm actually coming on here to talk to you about something dealing with Harry Potter, believe it or not. No, Daniel Radcliffe is the star of Harry Potter. Over the years, we've seen him grow up. We know about him. Now, he had given some criticism to J.K. Rowling. And it's not because the reason she gets criticism because she writes books on magic, mysticism. It's because her views on the community that's alternative. And the alternative lifestyle community, I gotta say, I haven't agreed with J.K. Rowling on much, but I agree with her here. Now, her reasoning, it's a little awkward, but she rationalizes it well, but it's not the reason that we stand on it. Now, of course, my religious views, and that's what I stand on. That's why I stand on it. But her views are a little different. Her views on the fact is that if there is no man or woman separation of understanding, then you lose necessity to have different sexes as we are created. She's right, but that's not the true reason I was expecting or the true reason we're held to by the perspective of God Almighty. But that's my thing. She's not wrong. Whatever she came to understand it, she's not wrong. And I give her props on that because it's not normal for someone who dabbles in mysticism, writes books on fantasy, that is in that lifestyle to think the way she does. But I give props to it. She's right in a way. It would take away the necessity of saying man, woman. It would lead down a path of us just being person, person A, person B, person C. We weren't created to be that. We were created male or female. That's why we have the genitals we do. And, although people want to change their genitals, that's another subject. But she's not wrong. So, Daniel Radcliffe, I'm against you on this. I think that your director and the writer of that made you so wealthy as you are, which is why I don't get what your neglect is, makes perfect sense. In a world trying to omit a religious view, she makes sense logically. If we do not separate male or female, we will lose the understanding of sex, as she says. She's not wrong. And I'm shocked. I'm just very elated at the fact, well, not very elated, but elated in the sense that I thought J.K. Rowling would have been the one saying what he's saying, and he would have been saying the opposite. But how the roles reversed. And she's not wrong. Matter of fact, ma'am, you're absolutely right. If we did do that, we'd lose the understanding. And it's not about a job, about ability. It's not about that. It's about the nature in which we were birthed and society in which we are identified. That would be watered down. And that would get taken out of the perspective of view. We already know and hear what's going on in these schools where it's allowed for people such as identifying as uh, the opposite sex ending up in the other sex's bathroom. There's so many stories where young women were taken advantage of because of this thing. So she's not wrong. And I really do admire and I congratulate the fact she came to this conclusion. I think that for people that don't want to take a religious view, start at the view she's taking. It would take away the necessity of male female, how we were created, how we develop, how God made us to interact. It definitely would. And she didn't say God for some reason, but overall, it's how God created us. We didn't create ourselves. So ultimately, she's not wrong. She's absolutely right. And she proves a good point, solid, for those people who want to take views like, well, I don't want to include God. Fine. Take J.K. Rowling's view. It makes perfect sense. You want to take away, and it's not about career, it's not about ability, it's simply about how we were created, how we were born. It would definitely take away a male female concept, which is a very bad thing because we know that men don't bear children. We know that women can work if they want. We're in a different day and age. It's not about that. People are trying to make it about, oh, women men can do things women can't. No, it's not about that. This is looking at legit. It would mess the roles up of genders that we are identified as. So now I want to identify a woman clearly as a woman because that's what I see. But because she does not thinking, I have to talk to her like a man. No, because she doesn't know what it's like being a young boy going through puberty, becoming a man. Same thing. I don't know what it's like for a girl going through puberty, becoming a woman. It makes no sense. And she's spot on with it. I think that she gives the best viewpoint for anybody who is trying their hardest to disclude religion that ultimately ends up back at religion. So at the end of the day, I ride with J.K. Rowling. Daniel Radcliffe, I do not agree with you. All rights reserved on this. Check out the news story below. Like, share, subscribe. You know how I rock.